Good morning, everybody. The video I did talking about the Amish coming out of Pennsylvania, going down to North Carolina, building those tiny homes for people in need, that video got almost 2 million views now. But I want to go further in this video and say this. The Amish that came to help them, they were doing that because they saw what was happening where the people were basically abandoned. The Amish culture where I come from, even though I do not agree with their religious standards and all of that, I still give credit where credit is due. When I see an act of love, I support people like that. Because they loved the people enough to where they said, we must do something. We must go down there. And they hired drivers. They used their own material out of their cost came out of their own pocket. Guys, there's no greater love than that. When the Bible talks about loving thy neighbor as thyself, that was on display right there. Now, FEMA, I got a lot I could say about FEMA. Because they were the ones coming up against this Amish group that came out of Pennsylvania, trying to shut them down, trying to get the county and the township involved to try to shut them down for not following the building codes and all of that. Now, I get it. The Amish have exemptions. When I was growing up, old order Amish, we built stuff that didn't have to follow the codes. We had religious freedoms. We used exemptions, so to speak. When the code was passed in our county, I remember they wanted us to have the plumbing, for the sewer. And we don't do sewers. We don't have plumbing. We had outhouses. And the new law stated that any new homes being built had to have that. Well, we used freedom of religion exemptions to get out of that. Everybody else that was not Amish, they had to comply by that. But we didn't. So I just say that to say this. The Amish were coming down to help them. They may not have done all their homework to look into all those codes and all of that, but why not let the people just live in those tiny homes that were built by the Amish, and then let other contractors come in and deviate the thing, edit the thing to make it then up to code or whatever. But I find it very strange that FEMA had a problem with it. Because FEMA's down there doing their thing, who knows for what reason. I mean, if you ask me, if you want my opinion, I wish Trump, when he takes power here in a couple days, couple weeks, I wish he would put the Amish in charge of FEMA so the Amish work ethic can show FEMA how to actually get the job done, rather than for whatever other motives, maybe taking land from the North Carolinians down there. I mean, I don't know the motive. I've seen some different things floating around. I don't know what's true. But there's got to be a reason for why you would shut down some loving Amish people from coming down to try to help. I mean, it's bizarre. So I just wanted to do a little clip and just kind of share how it was me growing up Amish. We did have freedom of religion exemptions under the Constitution, all of that stuff. But the act of love that was on display, I don't see in any other culture or government, okay? If the government would follow that example that the Amish showed there in North Carolina, then we would have a very good, awesome country to live in the United States of America. Because the Amish community, when I was growing up, we didn't have to purchase insurance. Why? Because we were self-sufficient. We took care of one another. When our barn burnt down when I was in 5th grade, 200-300 Amish men showed up the next day. The mess was cleaned up and the foundation was being laid. 3 days later, the roof was on, and we were getting new animals. All the animals died, and they donated so many cows and horses and pigs, we ended up with double than what we had before the fire. We didn't need insurance. I mean, that kind of system works really good. And if the government system worked the same way, then this would be an awesome country to live in. But that's what the Amish mentality. I wanted to do this video to show you guys the Amish mentality, their thinking. They love people. This particular group, I'm not saying all of them are at that level. My group really disconnects from the world. But this group, to love people that are not Amish enough to go help them, that speaks volumes. And I want to recognize them for that. This is also the group that voted for Trump. This is also the group that was trying to recruit other Amish to get involved in politics to save their culture. They saw what was happening, where it was slipping away. The rich were getting richer and the poor were getting poorer. And the jobs were being shipped overseas. And they remember how it was under Trump the first 4 years. And they wanted to bring that back. And so they got involved and they started voting. And then they also start helping the American people when they see the government abandon the American people. And then FEMA wants to step in, Biden administration stepping in. Oh, you can't come help. This out of code, it's this and that. Get out of here. I have no use for government anymore. I'm tired of it. Do I sound angry? Yeah, because I am. I'm fed up with it. Guys, I'm not Amish no more. I don't have to agree with their religion and their shunning and all of that. But when they love like that and they want to go help people, we should support them. Guys, here's what I want you to do. If you agree with me, well, if you disagree with what I just said, you probably don't know how to love. Just going to get that out of the way. But if you agree with me, go into any Amish community that you're nearby, or if you're not nearby, go take a vacation, go to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Or did I say that wrong? Lancaster. People have corrected me a lot. Lancaster. Okay, so it's Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Go there on vacation. Get you a motel or rent one of those Amish Airbnbs. Yeah, because they're the more modern Amish than my group. They have stuff like that. They got their own cheese shops, bakeries. Go do business with them. Support them. I mean, they just spent out of their own pocket $300,000 to build those tiny homes down in North Carolina. So all we can do is at least go buy their pies and their awesome, delicious cookies and their candies and do business with them and support them. Because they did save this nation. They did vote for Trump. And they did flip Pennsylvania red. And they did help people in North Carolina that our own government wanted to abandon. And last but not least, if you want more stories how my community was, you can find my book on EliYoder.com. It's also available on all the online bookstores and Amazon. God bless you.